We are so glad you're here. Tune in Tuesdays, don't be late. Nate and Mike got info great. Local auto news you need to hear. Ready to shift your knowledge gear. The pros from the dealer's floor with tips and tricks and so much more. Be the buyer that's wise and smart. Rolling in style, you're off to a start. Mohawk Table Talk, come join the ride. The podcast that's got you auto supply. From deals to trends and buying advice, we'll make car shopping extra nice. Got a question? Ask away. Nate and Mike got things to say. Guests drop in with insights to share. They'll guide you with their expert flair. Stories flow, insights unfold. Stay ahead, drive bold and cold. Mohawk secrets shared with care. Hit the road with confidence to spare. Mohawk Table Talk, come join the ride. Stories flow, insights unfold. Stay ahead, drive bold and cold. Mohawk secrets shared with care. Hit the road with confidence to spare. Mohawk Table Talk, come join the ride. The podcast that's got you auto supply. From deals to trends and buying advice, we'll make car shopping extra nice. Tune in Tuesdays, don't be late. Nate and Mike got info great. Local auto news you need to hear. Ready to shift your knowledge gear. They're the pros from the dealer's floor, with tips and tricks and so much more. Be the buyer that's wise and smart. Rolling in style, you're off to a start. Mohawk Table Talk, come join the ride. The podcast that's got you auto supplied. From deals to trends and buying advice, we'll make car shopping extra nice. Got a question? Ask away. Nate and Mike got things to say. Guests drop in with insights to share. They'll guide you with their expert flair. Stories flow, insights unfold. Stay ahead, drive bold and cold. Mohawk secrets shared with care. Hit the road with confidence to spare. Mohawk Table Talk, come join the ride. The podcast that's got you auto supplied. From deals to trends and buying advice, we'll make car shopping extra nice. Got a question? Ask away. Nate and Mike got things to say. Guests drop in with insights to share. They'll guide you with their expert flair. Stories flow, insights unfold. Stay ahead, drive bold and cold. Mohawk secrets shared with care. Hit the road with confidence to spare. Mohawk Table Talk, come join the ride. The podcast that's got you auto supplied. From deals to trends and buying advice, we'll make car shopping extra nice. Mohawk Table Talk, come join the ride. The podcast that's got you auto supplied. From deals to trends and buying advice, we'll make car shopping extra nice. Oh, We are so glad you're here. Tune in Tuesdays, don't be late. Nate and Mike got info great. Local auto news you need to hear. Ready to shift your knowledge gear. They're the pros from the dealer's floor with tips and tricks and so much more. Be the buyer that's wise and smart. Rolling in style, you're off to a start. Mohawk Table Talk, come join the ride. The podcast that's got you auto supplied. From deals to trends and buying advice, we'll make car shopping extra nice. Got a question, ask away. Nate and Mike got things to say. Guests drop in with insights to share. They'll guide you with their expert flair. Stories flow, insights unfold. Stay ahead, drive bold and cold. Mohawk secrets shared with care. Hit the road with confidence to spare. Ooh, Mohawk Table Talk, come join the ride. The podcast that's got you auto supplied. From deals to trends and buying advice, we'll make car shopping extra nice. Stories flow, insights unfold. Stay ahead, drive bold and cold. Mohawk secrets shared with care. Hit the road with confidence to spare. Mohawk Table Talk, come join the ride. The podcast that's got you auto supplied. From deals to trends and buying advice, we'll make car shopping extra nice. Gear, they're the pros from the dealer's floor with tips and tricks and so much more. Be the buyer that's wise and smart. Rolling in style, you're off to a start. Mohawk Table Talk, come join the ride. The podcast that's got you auto supplied. From deals to trends and buying advice, we'll make car shopping extra nice. Got a question, ask away. Nate and Mike got things to say. Guests drop in with insights to share. They'll guide you with their expert flair. Stories flow, insights unfold. Stay ahead, drive bold and cold. Mohawk secrets shared with care. Hit the road with confidence to spare. Mohawk Table Talk, come join the ride. The podcast that's got you auto supplied. From deals to trends and buying.
Gamble or good deal? We're here. Welcome everybody. It is Friday, October the 9th?
It's the 10th already.
Like I said, the 10th. Welcome to Mohawk Table Talk. We are back. We missed last week and we apologize. We missed you all so much, but we're here.
That's right.
And it's time to talk EVs. Used EVs today because everybody knows it's over.
That's true. We don't have enough sound effects on this show.
We need more.
We just need a button.
There's sound effects on there, Jared.
Where?
Those little buttons to the right.
Yeah, that's right. All right, so we do have them. We just haven't used them. But
you might want to. I think those are crickets.
Oh, good.
Oh, yeah. Perfect. we can talk about that. But it is October 10th. Thank you for tuning in. If this is your first time watching, welcome to Mohawk Table Talk. My name is Mike. This is Nathaniel, and we are the hostess with the mostest, or at least we have the most info about the local car business and national. And what we're referring to, I love the title of this podcast.
Yes.
Right? The used EV gamble smart buy or battery bust. Yeah, so we're going to talk about that. That's going to be our main topic for today. But and if you watch us every episode, you know that what we like to do is start off with what's going on locally. There's a lot of stuff going on. This is our first episode since the EV tax credit was abolished, removed, it's gone.
However you want to call
sayonara,
it. You know,
it's
like
gone.
kiss it goodbye.
That's
kiss
right.
it.
It's gone. So after September 30th, there is no more federal EV tax credit for electric vehicles. So we're going to talk about that, but we're going to talk about how that affects the used car market in just a few minutes after we get the wrap on some local stuff.
The wrap is, there's a bunch going on, as per usual. Mohawk is always willing to be a part of the community any way we can, and with that comes a lot of different drives, events, and so we are going to be at the Double M Honda Hayride, October 24th. So if you're going there, say hello. We'll
Boston Spa, New York.
Spa. If you are going to the Strides Walk on October 19th in Washington Park, we'll see you there. We'll have a vehicle. We'll have a Silverado EV. So I'm talking about EVs today.
Okay.
We currently are running 2 drives. One is for the Wilton Food Pantry in Malta, in Wilton, but at Chevrolet in Malta. We are currently accepting donations for those that would like to participate. We are taking hygiene items. So make sure you check out our Facebook page, our Instagram, because we have some posts about what we are looking for specifically. And at our Honda store, we are collecting food items for Rotterdam Community Center. Again, check out our Facebook, our socials. We will have a list up of what we are looking for. We are also at Bowman Orchard, so if you are around the capital region, Bowman Orchard, you'll see one of our vehicles. Elms Farms, you'll see some of our vehicles there. We've been doing some stuff over there. The next time we will be there is going to be Friday. Ooh. Next Friday, not the day.
And
next
Friday. The social team was just there.
The social team was just there.
Check out those posts on social because you did a whole lot of stuff over there. You were like a farmer.
We learned the BTS of what it takes to work at Elms Farms. Some things, but I don't think they really cut the corn by hand. I think he just made us do that. But the pumpkins, definitely. We enjoyed driving the Moo Moo Choo Choo. But you know, it's a funny name for the ride, but it's a great place for kids. So if you are looking for some fall festivities, check out Elms Farms.
Yeah, and I can tell just from the posts that Nate has a new appreciation for what it takes. To work at, volunteer at a farm. It was really pretty cool. So we are ready. We're right in the middle of fall, and we're talking about Bowman's Orchards right here in Rexford, so very close to the Honda store. If you haven't been out there doing your apple picking and all that stuff yet, it's coming to that time.
It's coming.
Right? A lot of people have done it already. We're in full fall festivity. Look at our little prop here. That's going to be with us for the rest of the month. Speaking of that,
we're going to get turkey in here next.
Ooh, live turkey. All right, that would be weird. But in just a few weeks, actually, 3 weeks exactly from today's Halloween.
Yep.
And we have a cool event coming up, right, at both stores. We are, actually, it's going to be the 26th, if I'm thinking of it right. Sunday, October 26th. Check out our social post, check out our webpage. Trunk or Treat is coming up, so that's October 26th at Mohawk Honda and also at Mohawk Chevrolet. We're happy to be part of it's a nice way to give back. Bring the kids over, dress up. Parents can dress up too, you know.
Parents can dress up.
We love to see some of those. We're going to have some, I think we're going to have some music, right?
We're going to have some music. We're going to have some activities for the kids. And we're going to have a bunch of cars that are decorated.
Yeah. Decorated cars. It's just for fun. It's a nice way to get out. Certainly a super safe way. And we do it right in the middle of the day. So that way you don't have to mess up with candy treats and dinner and all that stuff. It's 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Again, it's at Mohawk Honda and Mohawk Chevrolet. Trunk or Treat, October 26th. That's a Sunday. Visit us. And it is rain or shine because the trunks are open with all the candy and they're inside both facilities. So therefore, if it rains, we're going to be good.
You'll be good.
We're going to be good.
What I want you to do, if you're listening right now or watching the live stream, I'm doing this right now. Share this to your page. Let everybody know what we're doing here because we want to get this out. So we are on Spotify. We're not on Apple Music yet, but we'll work on that.
We're getting there.
We're getting there. But we're on YouTube. We're on Facebook and YouTube. Did I say that already?
You did.
YouTube, Facebook, and YouTube.
All right, Facebook and YouTube.
Everybody uses those two.
Facebook,
for the most
YouTube,
part.
Spotify.
They kind of rule the world.
So
it seems like.
if you are watching right now, what we need from you is to share it out. Say, Mike and Nate are on again. Come check it out.
Right, and please give us a like. I know I track those throughout the day. I like to watch and I share. Please make sure you give us a thumbs up. We really appreciate it. Of course, as always, if you have any questions or comments or anything like that, we're obviously we're an auto group of positivity, so we love those positive comments. Keep them coming in. Anything you'd like to contribute, we'd welcome. And if you have any questions, we're happy to get them answered. So. That's what's going on locally. We've done a bunch of stuff, and we have Trunk or Treat coming up. October is just a really fun time of the year. The leaves are falling.
I shared the post, everybody.
That's right. That's right.
Fall's here. Yep.
And believe it or not, actually, you would believe it, is as temperatures get cooler, there was a frost this morning.
The first frost. I actually had you know how Facebook shows you your memories?
Oh, yeah.
So October 5th last year was the first frost.
Oh, wow. Okay. That was pretty close.
We're pretty close.
I was in the showroom this morning, and as I walked in, and some service folks were already here, some customers, they said, "Oh, I needed to find my scraper." This morning, first time of the year, I had to find my scraper.
Oh, my
October 10th. So that's just a sign
Don't
of
all your
things to
cars
come.
have remote starts now? What are we doing
Yeah,
here?
maybe, but if you didn't expect it, right? You figured you just run out and jump in the car. Didn't realize it was going to be frosty.
That's where the old windshield wiper fluid action comes in, because the first frost was not like that crazy.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, it's not that thick. That's right. The scraper might be taking it a little. But on that note, we just let the staff know this morning. A day like this is one of the first days where we have tons and tons of employees, tons and tons of customers that have that little light on the dash, the low tire pressure light, right?
TPMS.
That's right, tire pressure monitor. That's just telling you that, hey, it's cold outside and your tires have lost a little bit of pressure, maybe a pound per square inch or something. So make sure you get those. And if you'd like to stop by either store, we do that for free. We'll put air pressure in your vehicle right in the service drive, so feel free to do that. So that's if you have any questions about how to reset that or how that works, feel free to either chime in here or visit either of our websites and hit that little chat feature, and we can walk you through it.
Yeah, if you'd like some information, you can. If you don't know, if you want to fill the tires yourself after you see that, what you can do is go on the inside of your door jamb. It will tell you cold and warm pressures, tire pressures that you should have, PSI. Pounds per square inch, something like that. So you can check that out. Everyone likes to go to the local Stewart shop.
That's true. There's free air everywhere.
For the free air everywhere type of deal. But again, you can come in and we'll take care of that for you.
Yep, absolutely. So that's our little public service announcement. I feel like we did some good today.
Yes, we did. All right, time to go. No, just kidding.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Oh, we can't go until we talk about again. I love the used EVs. Mm-hmm. Used EVs.
Where do we go from here, Mike?
That's the question. And I'm involved heavily with discussing with other dealers and other industry partners in the auto business about used EVs, because it seemed like for the last couple years, all we talked about were new EVs and how many new EVs were being sold. And, we're going to crest 1.2 million new EVs sold in 2025 by the time the year is over. But when the new EVs are sold, when people trade them in, there are now more used EVs. So you compile the last 3 or 4 years worth of real EV sales volume that are out there on the road, and somebody wants to switch to a different car, now all of a sudden there are used EVs on the market. So that's what we want to talk about today. Are those used EVs, are those a smart buy? Like, are they a good buy? Or do you maybe pass that over and look for a regular gas vehicle? Mm-hmm. Or do you go in the middle and get something like a hybrid or something like that?
Well, I mean, I think that is the core thought process now as we're getting into these alternative option vehicles. You have your plug-in hybrid, you have your hybrids, you have your all-electric vehicles. And I'm going to keep saying it because I do believe that this is for those with 2 parents in the household, one person may not drive as much, or the couple decides who's going to drive more.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
And so you have that vehicle that is the main drive for the family, right? And that's going to be the bigger one. That's going to be the ICE vehicle. But then you have the daily driver of the person who's driving back and forth to work every day that doesn't need 600-mile range vehicle, right? You don't need the gas that is a quick fill, right? You can just go to work, come back, grab groceries if you really need to on the way home, and that's only going to use, on average, they like to say, about 40 miles per day. So an EV like that as a second vehicle is perfect. And I think that's where we can kind of shift, where both individuals have ICE vehicles versus one person has an ICE, one person has an EV, and less maintenance, so you don't have to worry about the oil after you change it, and we'll obviously get into that, but that's where I see this going.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Most of the time, all the experts, when they're doing surveys about current electric vehicle owners, most of those households have a gas vehicle also, like was what Nate was saying. So knowing that, now that we have more used EVs in the market, there are a couple things to consider, right? Do I want an EV? Yes, maybe somebody says, I want an EV, but buying that new EV is so much money, I'm going to wait until there's some used ones, right?
Yep.
You could say that about a lot of different things anybody buys. You know, if I found a used one and it's a fraction of the price, that's possible. So when we look at the volume of used EVs in the market, they're starting to creep up. They're starting to increase to 5% of the used market, and then it'll soon be 10% and so forth, because the EVs that are sold as new vehicles obviously have to go somewhere, right? And they're going to end up back on dealers' lots. And what we'll see, and this is to be determined, is what that resale value is, right?
True.
What the prices are going to be of these used EVs.
Yep.
Most of that has to do with what the demand is. And what I believe is that some folks who have put off looking into the EV market so far, there's a lot of people who say, I don't want to be the first in the pool, right? I don't want to go buy that new EV, and if it doesn't have any track record. Now the vehicle's been on the road for a number of years. The track record's there, the feedback is there, the quality is there. They say, you know what? I might be a candidate for that used EV, and it's going to be at a fraction of the price, right? That's
Well, I think that's one of the big things about EVs is that it's like a phone, right? Quote unquote. But it's not really a phone. It's thousands upon thousands of dollars. But when I say that, it's a piece of technology now, right? It's a battery and technology that moves wheels, that moves tires around, in the most simplest of terms. So the technology that was once in that vehicle, unless it can be updated without needing to switch pieces out, which I'm not an engineer, I don't know what's being switched out, what's not, or is it just a software update that needs to happen in these vehicles to maybe prolong the life of the battery, or maybe it is just the battery was not good technology, so it has to be switched out. We do know that because it is more technologically advanced and technology is moving at such a faster rate, the EVs depreciate just a little bit more than an ICE vehicle.
Yeah, that's what we've seen so far. Just my opinion is, I think there's a lot of uncertainty. If we go back 2 or 3 or 4 years with the new EVs, there was a lot of uncertainty, right? Like, what are these things about? I don't really know, and if I end up buying one, it's kind of a gamble. I feel like the market has worked through that.
Yeah, we're kind of through that, I feel. But I feel like you know kind of more what you're getting, and you're more aware. I think people are more aware of the battery than they are anything else of the vehicle.
You're 100% right. Yep, they're aware of the battery, and I think now that uncertainty is translating to the used EV market, right? So now folks say, well, I understand what I get if I buy a new EV, but it's a lot of money. Now, if I buy a used EV, I love the price range, but there's certainly some uncertainty about the condition of the used EV.
Right.
Just like we've talked a number of times with our audience about the condition of any used vehicle and certified vehicles and all this other kind of thing and the reconditioning that's done on vehicles. Now enter EVs, and there's certainly there probably is some uncertainty about the condition of that battery. Right. And on an ongoing basis, the market, the industry are working on measures on trying to, give folks, the next buyer, a peace of mind about the condition of that battery. The good news is almost all the batteries right now are barely, only a couple years old, right?
Right.
They're not
Especially
that
with the
old.
leases.
Right.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that most of the batteries now have like a 10-year warranty.
They do. Yes.
From what I'm hearing.
That's right. A lot of the most of the manufacturers have a long term, such as a 10-year or 100,000 miles, or a combination of that, warranty on those EV components, which is some peace of mind that if you buy that 2-year or 3-year-old vehicle that maybe was leased previously, you see a good value there. You like the car. You want to jump in that pool with everybody else who's got an EV, and I want to have one of those. Yeah. You have some peace of mind that if there was an issue with the battery or the EV components, that the manufacturer is going to cover that.
I think we're working. I think we're so far along in EV use at this point. Think about some of the first EVs. You had the Nissan Leaf, then you had the Chevy Bolt, and you're coming into almost like the veteran season of EVs, I believe, because we've been driving them for a while now. Some people have been driving them since 2015, and you got that longevity like the longitudinal studies now that manufacturers are able to do to see what's affecting the battery, what's not affecting the battery. So the newer ones that are being made, you are getting a better idea, and you've also been able to watch the news and other things like that, where it's like, okay, some did here, now they're doing the recall here, and now they're switching this out, and now the batteries are, now you got manufacturers working on a solid state battery, not the normal batteries the lithium ion batteries anymore. You're getting all of these new technologies that are coming into play that I think are going to make buyers more able to adapt to an EV lifestyle. And I will say it again, as a secondary vehicle. I would say that for like upstate cold areas, things like that. And so like if you're in a warmer climate, I think you're more apt to be able to do a battery, because no one in Northeast wants to be stuck on the side of the road with an EV vehicle.
Right. In the cold.
You got to call a tow truck. Like, I don't want to even do it. Now, I've had to change a tire in the cold on Christmas Day, like going to my grandma's house. Like, I don't even want to do that, right? But to have to wait there for a battery charger, like what, a tow on, because the battery that we've seen and from people that I've talked to does deplete faster in the cold. And, we know that. We know that batteries, what do we say every time you're going to start hearing us every time November starts, the colder temperatures, January, December, January, get your battery tested, because batteries, you don't know until that really cold batteries, and then try to click that over.
That's right.
And the cold start of the battery, it's just too cold for it and doesn't have enough amperage.
Yep, so, exactly. And whether you're talking about the battery that's in every vehicle, right, your little square one that's under the hood, or you're talking about an EV, what we're talking about is just that ability for the battery to hold a certain charge capacity, right? It just decreases. Doesn't necessarily mean that the battery is no good. It just means that that charge just needs to be watched. So certainly good points. That's kind of the elephant in the space. We're going to talk about
the elephant in the room here.
Yeah, the room in the space is, geez, what do I do about battery? I love the car. I love all the technology. And Mike and Nate are right. Like, over-the-air updates are awesome, right? Like your phone, right? You just press a button and, in 5 minutes, it's updated. Like, that's all really cool stuff, especially if it's that second vehicle in the household. And you say, you know what? It's not as much risk as if it was my only car. That's certainly a possibility. The last thing I wanted to touch on, which are in my notes here that somebody might have a question about, is I briefly said that, which 10 days ago was the end of the federal income tax credit. And what does that look like now when we look to the used vehicle market? Because the used vehicles prior to September 30th and before had up to a $4,000 income tax credit for used EVs if they met certain stipulations. Now that whole program is no longer in effect. However, what I see so far is I don't see any immediate change to the vehicle pricing in used EVs. I think what will happen is as the demand changes, whether it's more or less demand, we'll just see that those vehicle prices, those used EV prices, go along with the market, just like they would on any gas vehicle or any other type of vehicle, right? The demand dictates kind of where that pricing falls. So if we see a spike in demand, depending on what the vehicle is, you could see the prices may not change that much. If we see the other way, that maybe there's not as much demand right away, you actually could see the prices decrease a bit on EVs on dealers' lots. And if somebody was just kind of holding out and not sure if they wanted to do anything, that might be the time to consider making a move, right? Maybe then is the time for a used EV, and we look forward to seeing how that's going to help too. So, as your local dealer, your Mohawk Auto Group, we're happy to chat with you about this anytime. Somebody like myself or Nate or anybody on our team, you can also just click on our website, hit that chat feature, and we can chat with you about EVs as long as you'd like.
That's right.
Whew. It's a big topic, and it seems like there's always something to turnover in terms of what's going on with EVs.
Yeah, the used EV market is definitely going to be one to watch because, like we said, like it's going to become more affordable. But what I think people are starting to I don't even know actually, but if you don't know anything about EVs, the maintenance on them is minimum, except for the battery, which kind of I guess would offset. But thinking about people and spaces, right? I feel as if, more populated areas like a city, people are more apt to get an EV vehicle. Then you move out into suburbia area. Now you have the families with two people. Then they're going to have, the kind of like rotate in there.
Right.
And you have your rural area, which I don't think will adapt EVs as much unless it gets to a point where it makes more sense for them, because if you're in a rural area, the chance of you having a reliable power grid, unless you have solar and to make sure that you always have power to charge, that's also the other thing is people that have, I would say, a power discrepancy, right? Like if your power always goes out when it snows or things like that will kind of play into effect. And typically that happens in more rural areas because you have a little less resources to come and fix that because you got to find the power line, then you fix the power line, then you got to go back to the grid and shut the grid on, and there's a lot more things that play farther out. But that's kind of how I envision the adaptation of the EV realm is going to be. Obviously more populated areas, you'll have more chargers, it'll make more sense than the suburbia areas. And then as you get more into rurals, I mean, you go to someone in the rural area, they still want their diesel truck. Like,
yeah, that's true.
They still want a diesel. You tell them you're gonna have a 4-cylinder, 2-liter 4-cylinder. They're like, no, give me my V6, my V6 diesel or V8 diesel, and I'll stick with that. They still want their diesel trucks out there for the torque. But who knows? Maybe they would adapt if they have the availability, a used EV truck for just the property, because then you don't have to drive lots of different places. You just have it up and running, less maintenance, so the truck will run a little bit longer. Who knows?
Yeah, that certainly is where I see that adaptation going, and it makes a lot of sense, right? The infrastructure in terms of charging ports, availability of somebody to charge their car wherever they're going. They of course center in the metros, right? In that city area, and then they kind of expand out over time, and that's what's happened so far. I mean, a year ago when we did this podcast, EVs, I felt like they were just starting, and we were just talking about the Honda Prologue that had just come out, and almost 100,000 Prologues later that are out there on the road now. It's amazing the growth that this market has had, and
people like them. Like you may not, you're like, oh, it's EV, but when you drive them, it's a completely different driving experience. You get immediate pedal to the metal, immediate torque right off the bat. So I think I think that's also the thing is that we've changed the engines to where there's a little bit of a delay. So like Hondas have a little bit of a delay when you put your pedal down, right? It's the fly-by-wire system. One, that helps you more with your gas mileage, but with the EVs, it's instantaneous, and you get that rush. So you're like, wow, this is great.
So if you haven't driven an EV,
If you haven't driven a dream,
you gotta check it out. So, but that's our perspective on used EVs. In terms of going back to our title that we put up there, smart buy, or is it a bust? It really depends on the situation. So there's no set answer as to whether it always makes sense for somebody or it doesn't. There certainly are a lot of reasons why looking at a used EV or a smart buy. The biggest thing is if you're considering a new EV versus a used EV, that used EV is going to be a fraction of the price. They already are on the market for a fraction. So it allows you to get into the EV lifestyle, get into that circle without having to spend almost double the money on one. So that in that regard, it's definitely a smart buy. And coupled with what like Nate brought up, just about every manufacturer has such a long-term warranty in coverage on the EV components of a vehicle. If you buy that vehicle that's 2 or 3 years old, you're still well within that parameter. So peace of mind is there too.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of like who it would be a huge gamble for. What would be the biggest risk? And then I thought to myself, like a traveling salesperson that's always constantly driving. But then my mind said, well, if they're always constantly driving, they would always need to take a break somewhere.
That's true.
That they would need to sit down, do work, or literally just take a break wherever they're going. So why not it's almost like a make yourself take a break type of deal where, okay, if I can sit down for 30 minutes to get my car recharged at a DC fast charge, fill up my battery, then I can actually eat something or, you know?
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
If you're like, hey, I'll be there in a moment, just need to charge my card, people will be more apt to be like, oh, okay, so you can have a break.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That makes a lot of sense. And people, I mean, we're in a world of change, right? Things change. And just because 25 years ago, when I went on a trip a certain way and filled up my gas tank at that rusty pump and all that. Well, guess what? It's 2025. It's almost 2026, and we're changing our ways.
That's right. We're changing our ways. Well, lots of different demands, lots of different scenarios that could go into play when it comes into buying a used EV, and we wanted to make sure that we could share what we know to give you the facts you need to know about the educated decision that you should make when looking at a used EV. There's so many factors that come into play, and that's why we have sales consultants here at both stores, Mohawk Honda, Mohawk Chevrolet. I will say we are sold out of EVs here at brand new EVs. I think we have maybe one Tesla used.
We have a couple used EVs.
We have a couple used EVs at our Mohawk Chevy store. We actually have plethora of EV vehicles, Equinoxes. We have the Equinox, the Blazer, and the Silverado, along with some used EVs that are on our lot. So if you are considering an EV, take a look at our Chevy store. And if you're considering a used EV, make sure you take a look at the inventory we have here at Mohawk Honda and Mohawk Chevrolet to find you the best fit when it comes to finding a vehicle. Regardless.
That's right. We're ready to help.
I think, Mike,
we did it.
Did we get everything? Did we get everything on the notes? I don't know. I kind of blacked out.
We got everything. We talked about what's going on locally. Get out there, get your cider donuts. We partnered with our local farms. We're going to be here at Mohawk Honda and Mohawk Chevrolet for Trunk or Treat. That's October 26th on Sunday. Don't forget that. So mark that on the calendar. And believe it or not, we're probably going to talk about EVs again in the next couple weeks. So make sure that you tune in. We're here Fridays, 12 o'clock. We made it on time this week, so we look forward to it again.
All right, everybody. This is Mohawk Table Talk here in the Mohawk Studios at Mohawk Honda. But until next Friday, Mike, Nate, we'll see you next time.